Bro, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now and lock in. Because what I'm about to tell you in the next few minutes is going to completely rewire the way you think about silence, about pain, and about power. Most guys out here are losing their minds, checking her Instagram every hour, typing and deleting texts at 2 a.m., wondering why she seems so unbothered, while they're falling apart on the inside. And I get it. That feeling is real. That confusion is real. But here's what nobody is telling you. While you're sitting there assuming she moved on and doesn't care, there is a psychological process happening inside her mind that is deeper, more intense, and more complicated than anything she's showing on the surface. And today, I'm going to walk you through every single stage of it. Not to give you false hope, not to play games, but to give you the truth. Because the truth is the only thing that's actually going to set you free. So if you're ready to understand female psychology at a level most men never reach, stay with me. Let's go. Stage 1, the relief trap. All right, let's start with the stage that breaks most men before they even get started, and that's the relief stage. When you go no contact, when your name stops lighting up her phone, when the texts stop, when the calls stop, when you just vanish, her nervous system exhales. And yes, bro, she feels relief. I know that hurts to hear. I know you were hoping she'd immediately spiral the second you went quiet, but that's not what happens first. What happens first is that all that emotional tension, the conflict, the pressure, the back and forth, suddenly lifts. Her body relaxes, her mind quiets down, and she tells herself, yeah, this is better. She convinces her friends she's doing great. She posts her best pictures. She goes out. She laughs louder in public. She performs healing before healing has even started. And this is exactly the moment where weak men break. Because they see her smiling on Instagram and they assume the game is already over. They mistake the performance for the truth. But here's what you have to understand on a deep level. Relief is not indifference. Relief is not over it. Relief is just the brain stabilizing after emotional overstimulation. It's a defense mechanism, not a verdict. And here's the most important part. Relief has a short lifespan. Because relief only lasts as long as attachment hasn't kicked back in. And if she truly invested in you emotionally, if she let you in, if she imagined a future with you, if she allowed herself to be vulnerable around you, that attachment doesn't just disappear because the relationship ended. It goes underground. It goes quiet. And quiet is exactly the environment where it starts building pressure. So don't be fooled by the relief stage. Don't let her surface behavior destroy your discipline. Because underneath the calm, the storm is already forming. Stage 2, the void shows up. Now this is where things start shifting beneath the surface. And most guys never even know this is happening because she won't show it. This is the void stage. And it starts small. She goes to text you something funny she just saw, and her finger stops. She gets good news at work, and the first name her brain reaches for is yours. And then she catches herself. She hears a song that used to play in your car, and something tightens in her chest for a second before she skips it. These moments don't feel dramatic. They're quiet, they're fleeting, but they're significant because what they represent is neural withdrawal. Here's the science behind it. When two people build a relationship, the brain literally builds neural pathways around that person, around their attention, their voice, their humor, the way they make you feel safe at 1 a.m. when the world feels heavy. Those pathways are real. They are physical structures in the brain. And when you disappear, those pathways don't get deleted. They go silent. And silence creates space. And space creates thought. She'll try to fill that space, trust me. Work, friends, social media, maybe even another guy. But here's the thing about distractions. They delay reflection. They don't replace emotional imprint. You can't substitute depth with novelty. So if she starts talking to someone new during this phase, what happens? The comparison becomes absolutely brutal. New guy might be attractive. He might be charming. He might check every box on paper. But emotional depth isn't something you build in 2 weeks of texting. It was built with you, over time, through real conversations, through real moments, through real vulnerability. She starts measuring the new energy against the standard she set with you, and subconsciously, nothing is matching up. Familiarity equals safety. And the nervous system craves safety when the novelty of something new starts wearing off. This is the stage where your absence starts becoming loud, even though you haven't said a single word. Stage 3. The questions begin. This is the stage where her internal narrative starts cracking, and it's more powerful than most men realize. When she ended things, or when you two fell apart, her brain immediately went to work building a story, a justification, a reason why it made sense. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you weren't attentive enough. Maybe the timing was just wrong. That story was her emotional armor. It protected her from regret. It allowed her to walk away without fully feeling the weight of the decision. But here's what happens when your silence stretches long enough. That story starts developing holes. Because if her decision was so solid, so certain, so right, then why is she still thinking about you? Why does your absence feel heavier every week instead of lighter? Why does she keep replaying specific moments that have nothing to do with the conflict? That question, if I was so sure, why do I keep thinking about him, is the most dangerous question her ego can ask. And it leads directly into cognitive dissonance. Her pride is saying move forward. Her nervous system is signaling loss. And those two things cannot coexist peacefully. The longer you stay grounded, the longer you remain focused on yourself, improving, building, not reacting, the louder that internal conflict gets. And here's the critical move. Do not break in this stage. This is where most men self-destruct. They're 2 or 3 weeks into no contact. They see her post something that triggers them, and they reach out. And the second you reach out, you relieve her discomfort. You hand her the validation she was searching for. You tell her, without saying a word, that nothing has changed, that she still holds the leverage. And the entire psychological process resets to 0. Stay still. This is the stage where your silence is doing the most work. Don't interrupt it. Hey, real quick, if this is hitting different, if this is giving you the kind of clarity that nobody around you is offering right now, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. I'm building this channel specifically for men who are done operating from emotion and ready to move with intelligence. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay locked in, because we go deep here every single week. Stage 4. Regret starts growing roots. Now we're getting into the real territory. This is where regret stops being a thought and starts becoming a feeling. And feelings are what move people to act. This stage isn't dramatic. It's not her crying on the floor listening to sad music. It's heavier and quieter than that. It's her replaying the breakup. Not just your side of it, but her side. The words she chose, the tone she used, the moments where she dismissed your effort, the times you showed up and she didn't acknowledge it. See, when you were present every single day, your consistency felt expected. Your loyalty felt like a baseline. Your effort felt like it was supposed to be there. But now that you're gone, absence reveals value in a way that presence never could. Distance gives her the clarity that daily access never allowed. And what she starts to see is that the effort you gave was actually rare. The consistency you showed was actually uncommon. The safety she felt with you, that's not something you find easily. At this stage, she may start testing the waters. Nothing obvious, nothing she'd admit to. Maybe a casual like on an older post. Maybe she watches your story within the first few seconds of you posting. Maybe she sends something neutral, a meme, a hey, how have you been? Something that sounds low stakes but carries a full emotional agenda underneath it. And I need you to understand, that is not random. That is reconnaissance. She is trying to measure your emotional temperature without exposing hers. She's checking. Are you still waiting? Are you still orbiting? Are you still the same guy she left? And here is where your response, or your non-response, matters more than anything. If you reply instantly, with too much energy, too much eagerness, too much warmth, you just communicated everything. You told her you were waiting. You told her nothing changed. You handed her the emotional leverage right back. But if you respond calmly, measured, grounded, unbothered, or if you don't respond at all, you force her into the most uncomfortable realization of this entire process. She might actually be losing you for real, and that changes everything. Stage 5. Imagination takes over. Here's a stage that nobody talks about, and it might be the most psychologically powerful one of all. When access is removed, imagination fills the gap. And imagination does not play fair. When you were present every day, she had full data on you. She knew your patterns, she knew your moods, she knew your flaws. She had complete visibility. But now, you're unknown. You're undefined. You're a mystery. An unknown reactivates intrigue in a way that familiarity never can. She starts wondering, what is he doing? Is he good? Is he out? Is he with someone? Is he growing? Is he different now? And here's the brutal part. She's not just missing you. She's missing the version of herself that she was becoming with you. The trips you two talked about taking. The inside jokes that were still evolving. The future she was quietly, privately building in her head. The one she never fully admitted to because she didn't want to be vulnerable. She's mourning a timeline, not just a relationship. And that kind of grief is disorienting because it makes her question her own judgment. Should I have stayed? Was I too emotional? Was he actually growing and I just didn't give it enough time? Would things have been different? Doubt starts quietly eroding her pride. And while her ego is still saying, he'll come back eventually, he always does, her heart is asking a question that makes her stomach drop. What if he doesn't? What if this time is actually different? That question, right there, is the most powerful pressure you can generate. And you generate it by doing absolutely nothing. By being so focused on your own growth that you genuinely have no emotional bandwidth to chase her. By becoming someone who doesn't need to perform no contact because you've actually redirected your energy into something real. Stage 6, the internal war. By this stage, enough time has passed for reality to fully land, and the internal war between ego and emotion hits its peak. The distractions have lost their shine. The new attention she was getting feels hollow. The narrative she built to justify walking away is full of cracks. And your continued absence has done something she didn't fully anticipate. It removed her emotional anchor. Here's something most people don't understand about relationships. Even the tension between two people becomes familiar. Even the arguments become a form of connection. Even the conflict becomes something the nervous system adapts to. It becomes predictable. And human beings are deeply addicted to predictability, especially in emotional bonds. When you disappeared and stayed gone, truly gone, you removed the emotional pattern she had unconsciously come to rely on. And that creates a restlessness she can't fully explain. Nostalgia starts hitting in waves, random songs, specific locations, a smell. A Tuesday afternoon with nothing going on that somehow feels unbearably heavy. She's not falling apart. She can survive without you, and she knows that. But she didn't expect to feel your absence this deeply. She didn't expect the silence to get louder over time instead of quieter. And here's the critical shift. Earlier in this process, she believed she could come back whenever she wanted to. That belief protected her. It gave her internal leverage. The idea that the door was open and the choice was hers. But now, she's not sure. And that uncertainty transforms missing you into fearing the loss of you. Those are not the same emotional state. Missing you is passive. Fearing the loss of you is urgent. Fearing the loss of you is what drives action. And the only thing that created that shift was your consistency, your silence, your refusal to crack. Stage 7. Regret goes looking for relief. And now we arrive at the stage most men spend weeks fantasizing about, but very few are actually prepared for when it arrives. This is the stage where regret stops being internal and starts reaching outward. The ego has been fighting a losing battle for weeks. The emotional pressure has built past what pride can contain. And your absence, your real, disciplined, grounded absence, has done something irreversible. It removed her certainty. And when certainty goes, people move. She starts rationalizing reasons to reach out. A birthday text. And I saw this and thought of you. An inside joke that resurfaced. Something that sounds completely casual, completely low risk, completely deniable. But underneath it carries the full weight of everything she's been processing. She's not leading with vulnerability. That would require too much ego death. She's testing. She's opening a door just wide enough to see if you walk through it on her terms. And this is where everything you've built during no contact either holds or falls apart. If you've done the real work, not just gone silent, but genuinely focused on yourself, rebuilt your confidence, developed your discipline, gotten clear on who you are and what you want, You're going to feel the difference in her energy immediately. It's softer, more careful, less certain. Because regret humbles people in a way that nothing else does. But here is the truth that most men never hear, and I need you to sit with this. This moment is not about winning her back. This moment is about deciding whether she qualifies for the version of you that was built in her absence. Because no contact was never about manipulation. It was never about playing games or making her miss you on purpose. It was about forcing both of you, to confront who you actually are without the emotional crutches of the relationship holding you up. And sometimes, what you find during that process is that you've outgrown the version of yourself that would have taken her back without standards. Sometimes she realizes your value after you've already moved forward, and that is not a tragedy. That is the most powerful outcome of this entire process, because you didn't just get her back, you got yourself back. And that version of you, grounded, disciplined, clear, self-respecting, that version of you attracts differently, lives differently, loves differently. So here's the final question I need you to sit with right now. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. If she texted you tonight, not out of boredom, not out of ego, not because she's lonely on a Saturday night, but because she genuinely, deeply felt the weight of what she lost, would you respond from strength? Or would you respond from the same anxious attachment that had you checking her profile every hour and overthinking every word? That is the only equation that matters in this entire conversation. Self-respect versus temporary emotion. Growth versus seeking validation. Discipline versus impulse. Real detachment versus performed no contact. Tell me in the comments right now, which side of that equation are you on today? Because that answer tells you everything you need to know about where you're at in your own journey. And if this video gave you a level of clarity that nobody around you, not your boys, not the internet, not anyone, has been able to give you before, then do 3 things right now. Like this video because it helps more men find this content who need it right now. Share it with a man in your life who is sitting on the edge of breaking his silence too soon, because this might be the thing that stops him. And subscribe to this channel because we go this deep every single week, and what we cover here doesn't exist anywhere else. I'll see you in the next one. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay building.